Before we dive in, drop a quick hi in the comments. It may seem small, but trust me, it really helps YouTube share this story with more sci-fi fans like us. I'd love to see who's watching. You are a coward. The words were still hanging in the air when the plasma spear Turan curvature ripped from one of his person guards punched straight through Malgros the Relentless's chest. The impact locked Malgros's body in place against the chains. Plasma burned through scale, muscle, and spine in a single brutal thrust. The smell of cooked flesh filled the throne chamber. Malgros didn't scream. Draco Wrath War Commanders didn't scream. He stared back at Caravan, jaws clenched, as blood ran down the spear shaft and steamed against the black stone floor. "I survived," Malgros rasped, "to warn you." Caravan twisted the weapon deeper. Bone cracked. "Yeah, you survived because you ran," Caravas said. "You abandoned the hunt." "I preserved fleet command," Malgros forced out. "The humans are not prey. They field kinetic weapons beyond our predictive models. They coordinate allied species with incompatible combat doctrines. They adapt faster than any doctrine the Imperium has faced." Caravatha shoved the spear another inch forward. Malgros coughed black blood across the throne chamber floor. "The Imperium does not adapt, vermin," Caravath growled. "Vermin are exterminated." "Don't underestimate the humans," Malgros said. "They crippled my flagship with a weapon launched from their moon. They baited our fleet into a kill zone using coalition misdirection. If you treat them as primitive, you will lose more than fleets. You will lose control of every species watching this war." A ripple of anger spread through the chamber. Traditionalist officials hissed from the shadows. Caravatha leaned closer, golden eyes burning with controlled fury. "You are not being executed for losing ships," he said quietly. Malgros understood instantly. "You're executing me because admitting they are dangerous would make you look weak." Caravas smirked. "Correct." He jerked the spear sideways. The plasma tore through Malgros's lung. The war commander's legs buckled against the chains. "You gathered intelligence by abandoning extermination orders," Caravas said. "You embarrassed the Imperium. You allowed prey to believe they can survive." Malgros forced air into ruined lungs. Blood bubbled with every word. "They already believe it," he said, "because they already did." For the first time, silence fell across the chamber. Caravatha ripped the spear free, letting Malgros collapse forward against his restraints. The Supreme Commander watched him struggle to stay conscious. "You mistake to lucky battles for proof of strength," Caravath said. "The humans have never seen the Imperium at full scale." Malgros tried to laugh. It came out as a wet, choking sound. "They will," he said, "and when they do, they'll kill you the same way they killed Voract." Caravath drove the spear through his heart. The chains rattled once, then went still. The Supreme Commander let the body hang for a moment before turning to the watching officials. "Let this be understood," he said. "The Imperium does not retreat. The Imperium does not fear adaptation, and I do not tolerate commanders who forget they are apex." The officials bowed. Caravath dropped the spear and walked back toward his throne, stepping around the spreading pool of blood without looking down. Behind him, Malgros the Relentless hung lifeless in chains, and with him died the only warning the Imperium would ever receive about humanity. 24 hours after the retreat of War Commander Malgros, a single damaged ship limped into Sol's outer detection grid. Lieutenant Kyle Anders flagged it immediately. The vessel was broadcasting distress codes, but the encryption was old. Black market old. Captain Oren Sanders appeared at his shoulder. "Pirate configuration," Anders said. "Heavy damage, requesting emergency docking." Sanders studied the profile. Patchwork hull, mismatched engine clusters, weapon mounts that had no business being on a civilian frame. "Armed escort," Sanders ordered. "Bring them to Bastion and get me Carthage." Aboard the Carthage, General Floyd Carpenter received the transmission with Mercer standing beside him. A scarred face filled the screen, missing left eye, burns across the jaw, the kind of damage that came from surviving things that should have killed you. "General Carpenter," the voice was rough, blunt. "Name's Vaughn, captain of the Korean's Price. I've got something you need." "We don't negotiate with pirates." "Good thing I'm not negotiating." Vaughn leaned closer to the camera. "I'm selling. Raided a Dodocorum agri-world 6 months back. Found a virus that killed every crop on the planet. Thought it was useless. Then I heard you bastards killed Voract Wrath. A pos. "You want to kill gods?" Vaughn said. "Here's how you make 'em bleed." The meeting took place in a sealed comm inference room, armed guards at every entrance. Vaughn sat across from Carpenter, a data module on the table between them. "Draco Wrath Agri-World," Vaughn said. "Designation CAL-7. We hit their storage facilities. I figured I'd found a crop blight, thought maybe I could use it, wipe out their food supply, make the bastards starve." He paused, his jaw tightened slightly. "Then I saw the fields. Draco Wrath bodies everywhere. Not just farmers, soldiers, dead between the rows, bleeding from their eyes, their mouths, every damn orifice." He looked directly at Carpenter. "That's when I realized it wasn't killing the crops. It was killing them." Carpenter activated the mod module. Data streamed across the display. Genome sequences, infection vectors, mortality curves. Why bring this to us? Because the galaxy's in chaos. Everyone's talking about the species that beat the Imperium. You're the only ones who might actually use this. Vaughn leaned back. "I want sanctuary, amnesty. The Draco Wrath have a long memory for raiders." Carpenter studied him, then nodded to Mercer. "Take him to secure holding. Comfortable, guarded." They left. Carpenter stared at the data. Then he called Dr. Nathan Keel. Keel arrived within the hour, 53 years old, gray at the temples, a CDC virologist before the Dodocorum Wrath invasion. Now he weaponized pathogens for wars that officially didn't exist. He took the data module without speaking and disappeared into his lab. Carpenter didn't hear from him for 18 hours. When Keel emerged, he looked like he hadn't slept. "It's not a crop blight," he said. "It's species-specific." Carpenter gestured to the chair. Keel remained standing. "The genome contains a dormant sequence unique to Draco Wrath physiology. It likely evolved alongside them on their homeworld. With modification, it can be activated." He brought up a projection. Rotating gene strands, clean, precise. Airborne transmission, incubation measured in hours. Hemorrhagic cascade once symptomatic. "Fatality rate?" Carpenter asked. 100%. Carpenter didn't react. "Planetary spread within days." Silence settled between them. "How long to make it viable?" Carpenter asked. "Weeks. Less if I have staff." "You'll have them," Carpenter said. "We'll designate Operation Asheville." Keel gave a small nod. "I'll require full containment protocols." "You'll have them." Another pause. Keel closed the display. "If we deploy this," he said evenly, "there won't be a Draco Wrath civilization left to retaliate." Carpenter met his eyes. "I know." Keel picked up the data module. "We'll begin immediately." He left. Carpenter remained where he was, watching the tactical display without seeing it. Beyond Sol, the Imperium was assembling another fleet. Inside Luna, humanity was assembling something else. 5 days later, 12 elegant vessels materialized at Sol's edge. The ships were unlike anything humanity had encountered. Organic curves, bioluminescent holes that pulsed with soft light, no visible weapons, no aggressive posture. Veteran identified them immediately. Valerian ascendants, nomads, pacifists. His feathered crest flattened. They fled the Imperium twice rather than fight. Carpenter watched the formation hold position. Peaceful, patient. Why are they here? I do not know. The Valerian do not involve themselves in wars. The lead vessel transmitted a request for diplomatic contact. Carpenter granted it. Ascendant Lyrae arrived aboard Average, flanked by 2 attendants. She was tall, 2 meters, with pale, luminescent skin that glowed faintly in the dim light, large eyes without visible pupils, delicate features that suggested fragility but carried something far older. She moved with fluid grace and spoke in a voice that felt like calm water. "General Carpenter, I am Lyrae. I speak for the Valerian ascendants." Carpenter inclined his head. "Why have you come?" "We abandoned 2 worlds rather than fight the Draco Wrath. You defended one." She paused. "We were wrong." The words settled heavily in the room. "We believed survival meant distance. We believed if we ran far enough, the Imperium would eventually turn its attention elsewhere." Her glow shifted, steady but subdued. It did not. Mercer watched her carefully. "So you're here because you're dying?" "No," Lyrae said calmly. "We are dying because we kept running." Silence followed that. "We bring a gift," she continued. "Functional FTL jump technology, faster than light transit across galactic distances. The drives are stable, proven. We offer them freely." Carpenter studied her. "Why?" "Because fleeing did not save us. It only postponed the inevitable. We have learned that survival without resistance is merely a slower extinction." She held Carpenter's gaze. "You resisted.
That changed the calculus. Her glow dimmed slightly. Our species numbers 1,000 individuals. We will not recover, but our knowledge can. We will not die as a warning. We choose to die as a contribution. Carpenter held her gaze. You're offering us FTL capability? Yes, and instruction. Navigator Sylvan will teach your pilots. A slender male Valerian stepped forward. His glow was brighter, younger. The drives are stable, Sylvan said. Your operation of them will improve with practice. Carpenter looked at Turan. The Falcon's amber eyes were wide. With FTL, Vare said quietly, you could reach anywhere, even Catherine Prime. Catherine Prime, the Draco Wrath homeworld. Carpenter turned back to Lyrai. We accept. Training began immediately. Hours later, Sylvan stood in a salvage shuttle bay, watching a human pilot strap into a Valerian modified transport. The Quintax